Alright guys, I am just running a test here. I don't know why this is not working, but I seem to have a very difficult situation. Huh. Mazman, can you see my screen? I am like just trying to run a YouTube live stream, but yeah, I'm back, man. If I can figure out how to run this, the link it's giving me is not working. So give me a moment because I just want to make sure that people can get in here. Okay, hold on. This might be it. Mazman, can you see my screen? I am like just trying to run a YouTube live stream, but yeah, I'm back, man. If I can figure out how to run. Alright, I'm gonna give it like just a few moments for everyone to get in, and then I am gonna go ahead and start breaking this market down. Okay, there is a little bit of a delay. There's a little bit of a delay between when I talk and when you guys hear it, just to be clear. And of course, there's a delay after that. Turned all the way up. That's. Let me check my mic. Nick, is it? How's the audio for the rest of you guys? Let me see here. Steady. I mean, because my microphone is all the way up. The only thing I could think is that it's pulling from the wrong. No, it's. Excuse me. The turn the gain up. Is it better now? Okay. All right. Well, then I will. Just gonna take it from here, guys. Talk about some of the bigger levels in play. Start the video here. Hey guys, it is 9:24 a.m. October 2nd. This is Jack Gleason. My new website will be called Startup Trading, but right now there's nothing on it. But I just wanted to kind of just pop in more than anything, and obviously the market's moving pretty heavy here, and give you guys some of my bigger levels. So I'm just gonna go to like a quick default chart so I can get a clean slate here on the S&P 500 and show you guys what I'm looking at. Now, if we go all the way out to basically the beginning of the year, end of last year, 2018, there is this extension from 25.23 to high. Okay, and this has been in play. It pulled back. It was the low in June, so summer lows never hit our profit target. That same anchor to the new high was a perfect touch of the 50% retracement, and then once again, we have never hit our profit target. Yes, Greg, I'm live right now. Never hit our profit target off of that. Now, we did come up and break above the opposing 61.8, and we are right now, as I'm talking, and this is actually a level I tweeted out yesterday. If you guys don't follow me on Twitter, it's at Jack Gleason. I don't only talk trading on Twitter. A lot of other random stuff, but we are at this major support level here in the S&P 500. It is the full halfway back from the September contract lows. We are now in the December contract, so we had rollover and then we get the pullback. A lot of times, like, we'll pull back at least once per contractor, like every time we roll over. So this is really the make or break level here for the S&P to hold. I would not be shorting at this low. I would not be shorting at this low whatsoever. Now, what I will show you guys is a couple of sequences to the upside. So On the way up here, we had the lows of the 26th of August. There was a halfway back that ran to target. You had your next halfway back that ran all the way through our negative 61, and then we began an extension. That extension officially broke on the 24th of September, and then the market flipped into a 50% retracement short. That 50% retracement short traded here, 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 and then completed profit targets yesterday, and we have gone through that negative 61. Now, one of the things you're going to want to look for is an extension from 29.58 half to low. We are through that negative 61% profit target. You also had sellers at the halfway back to that low too, but this is the proper low. So the low from 29.58 half to low, this is going to be your resistance zone. And in fact, I really like this 29.28 level here in the S&P 500, and these are daily levels moving forward. You can see this 29.28 is going to be where we had a hard time getting above in August. So we had a hard time getting above that 29.28 in August. So I do want to mark that level up. I'm going to mark up that 50% retracement at 29.28 half, and then the 38.2 at 29.21 half. Those are both going to be very important levels to me. Now, however, if we do break above that, still want to be aware of the full 50% retracement short. That's 29.46s. Okay, so I want to mark that level up. These are all going to be potential resistance levels, and then also always just be aware of the full halfway back short. That's 29.62 quarters. So those are all levels that I just have alerts. Let me cancel this one. That I have alerts above, because they could, they're not going to come into play today, but we're always want to be looking at a couple days out. Now, as far as the action we've seen today, I'm not going to go too much into detail because I do want to focus on the higher time frames. So much changes minute to minute on the intraday time frame. That's why I really, these videos try to focus on the higher time frame levels where not much changes. But moving into yesterday, so yesterday we had a low to low extension that traded through its negative 61. We then had extension to extension, 29.63 half to low, traded once to target, twice, and then we blew out of those profit targets. So we blew out of those profit targets in the overnight session, began an extension from 29.38 half to low. That was your first short entry this morning. And now, in fact, we are holding that low to low. So we are now in a 29.1675 to low. I always go back and just mark these anchors, specifically the first anchor. The first anchor short is always really important to me, but we had an extension anchor here. We then had an extension anchor here, and now we have one right here. So there's a lot of possibilities. I want to follow this sequence down. This is the most aggressive sequence. This is what's going to lead us lower. But basically, if we don't hold this 2900 level over the next couple days, I'm looking for a retest, guys, of this 38.2. That's going to bring us back to the bottom of the range, 28.35. And yesterday, those numbers, the ISM numbers, I think they were absolutely terrible. So if we cannot hold this technical level, look for a move to 28.36. Your first piece of evidence that we're unable to hold support would be a break above 29.10. But until we break above 29.10, guys, there is no room for any type of long setup here today. I'm going to move on now to gold, which got a little tricky here on the daily chart. So there is a massive extension that really never traded very accurately. So at least on this run down here. So what was that? I'll have to check real quick. Probably oil. All right, move back to gold. S&P making new lows. So the high from 1349.8 to high is what I was looking at for us to run down into. Now, I was actually hoping we'd get all the way down to this 1457 area. We never did. If we do eventually get down to that area, that level is still really important to me. What I do want to pay attention to is now that we're back above this 38.2, this level on a retest. This 38.2 would be, let me delete this draw. This 38.2 would be 1482.8. So that level on a retest, really significant to me on the daily chart. So that's something I'm going to watch. And then if you go down to the hourly here, guys, we had, obviously a rocket ship higher on those ISM numbers. And then we never got really this full halfway back long. It was front run by a full point. In fact, there was like the more accurate buyers were from this pull. This isn't a normal pull that I would use. I would not normally pull from this low. I would normally pull from the full low. But, a lot of times if you do get a super aggressive move like we had at 10 o'clock out of the ISM numbers, this becomes the anchor instead of the prior low. So you can see that level was pretty accurately bid. Now, we have not held the extension, but if we make a new high here, if we make a new high above 1505 area, this 1493 half will come into play again as an anchor. Otherwise, I'm just looking right now, assuming we don't get a new high, at 1492 half. There is, if you go to the 5-minute chart and the a smaller time frame tick chart, there's a couple of different, there was a traditional sequence once to target, and then we had, twice to target, and then this swing low to high is what's currently holding. Well, once again, these are the really smaller time frame levels. So unless you've been following that sequence, this entry is already over. The only thing I'm interested in right now is this 1492 half, or if we make a new high, pulling an extension. For bonds, currently long, I really see a big breakout here. Now, bonds has been a market that I've added to my list of things that I trade. I really took the Russell and the Dow out. I just realized they're so similar to the way the S&P, the Nasdaq moves, right? It's like 4 indexes. I wanted something a little different. And so I moved to bonds and euro instead of Russell and Dow, just to add a little bit of a variety of instruments for me to trade. For this move, and for those of you guys who don't trade bonds, I encourage you to start watching them. They can be pretty technical. There is a massive extension here, and it's got quite a big target up at 171.27, and that kind of that fits the idea of quantitative easing coming back into play, the Fed cutting interest rates, bonds continue to drift higher as interest rates drift lower. So the extension is from 148.27. That's from the high of the 4th of the year, so January 4th to high. Now, I actually mentioned this when it traded, and then from there, I'm going to go down to the hourly chart. We've been running into the low before low on the breakdown. We're actually right about to break out of this. 163.07 is like very close to breaking out. This is this low here. You can see we came into it. Now we're right at it. But as soon as we break out of this low, I'm expecting us to move up towards this profit target at 164 and then really back up to highs all the way at a 166.16. I'm going to go to the hourly chart, show you guys this a little cleaner. That took me to a 5-minute because Thinkorswim is going bankrupt. Yes, so the full halfway back now, once again, bonds into the end of the day on Friday, closed at its lows. Right below that major 50. Sunday, little gap up. This gap is never filled. And then we finally had a clean touch. A lot of times you'll see us like dilly-dally around a major 50, and then there'll be a very clean touch, and then we'll just kind of take off. So that 158.05, remember, is basically a weekly or a monthly extension. So that low to high is where the market was really bid out of a massive reversal on Tuesday, massive reversal. And now we have extensions to the upside, and that anchor is right here. It's the high before breakout. It's 161.08. Pulled back into those levels last night. I am expecting this to complete here, possibly today, maybe tomorrow, 163.26, and then I'd be looking for a same anchor new high. Really significant level for me in bonds. But I really like this trend going on in bonds coming out of there, guys. Bonds have been a really technical move, giving at least like one solid entry a day. Like I'm talking like a level that you can, even here, the short, it didn't hold very well, but, dilly-dally, reaction, broke a 61.8. In fact, this 162.19 was the full halfway back from highs, came down to the low, ripped higher, held an extension. We're breaking out of highs now, guys. We're going to be breaking out a multi-day high here, and that's really why I like bonds as a breakout trade, going back to the highs as we get back above the 163 level. Moving on to the Nasdaq, this is the other index I still have. I am anticipating the Nasdaq to come full halfway back from the low of June, so summer lows to highs, guys. That's no support till 74.96. Now we also have the short here, and I actually have this drawn incorrectly. The short has a negative 61.8% profit target at 75.28, and then the full 50 is going to be right below that, guys, 74.96, and that is a halfway back long from the June low. Really pay attention to this level, okay? This 74.96, okay? Really pay attention to that level. And then for oil, guys, oil, I have not been trading this well, I will fully admit. This downtrend, and it's sad to say because it's actually incredibly technical, like unbelievably technical. It's just, you know, my bias ever since this gap up. I mean, there was a couple longs. I'm just saying this move down. We have 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. This is on our 9th day of a lower close. But I mean, so we had that explosion, right? You have this major halfway back long that, you know, broke, retested, broke, and then right before the explosion. Interesting enough, to me, this is the crazy stuff about the market, right? We have a perfect test of a monthly halfway back long that trades, we gap up, that gap's a high, and in fact, now we are below those consolidation lows. That to me is just so strange because you literally have what it was like 5% of the global production of oil taken out over the course of a weekend. It was the largest single day move oil's ever had, and ever since that's happened, we're actually below the previous consolidation. I mean, you could go all sorts of conspiracies with that, but we are just getting absolutely destroyed. There was a perfect leg start test up at this high, which is amazing. It's this daily leg start, that white dot, perfect leg start test, complete destruction to the downside. The way this is looking like, guys, we're going to continue to break through these lows. I'm going to completely eliminate any idea of a long until we break our short sequence, and our short sequence currently exists from 55.55 to low. The negative 23% profit target is 52.46, and the negative 61 I will mark up here, 51.51. So I'm setting alerts on both of those levels. Keep drawing that 55.55 to low until it breaks. But very aggressive selling over and over and over again in oil. It's amazing how aggressive the selling has been. We're going to come right into that profit target. And then, Euro, last thing here. Euro's also a market I've been trading. So the Euro's like, you know, it's kind of trading similar to gold, right? It's inverse of the dollar. So you have call it a triple bottom. Like, I'm not a huge fan of triple bottoms. Triple bottoms, first off, are always in hindsight. You don't want to buy a third low and say, oh, you know, like we're just going to triple bottom. But, you know, you had a great move off of this 109 area. You had another move, and then we rolled over, and then we've retested these lows. And after the retest of these lows, let me just show you guys the sequence down here. There was a halfway back that ran to its negative 61. And then this next halfway back, if we can break this, which like you're kind of breaking out of a downtrend line here, and we go to the hourly chart. I like halfway backs after you like break like a trend line because they usually, like, just look at this trend line here, right? Touch, 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 and then call this a cup and handle with the halfway back, right? Just tags at 61. We're going to be rotating up, and that'll be a lot of pressure on this, but I do anticipate that the euro gets up to this 110.15 level here. Really technical move in the euro though, guys. We had, you know, halfway back, that's run to target. I would continue to look at this for potential reversal, because the way the euro is right now with this triple bottom, I believe we could possibly get all the way back up to the 111 level, and that's a pretty significant move. So we are breaking out of, we're going to be taking out, you know, 3-4 day highs if we can get back above the 110.19 level. So I'm actually long euro right now, and I'm long bonds. Those are the only trades that I have on. I've taken a couple other things. Had an ES short last night, hit targets, and I have not taken anything yet today. But that's going to wrap up this video, guys. If you liked this video, give it a thumbs up. I encourage you to share this video for anybody who has seen my work previously, misses it. So whether it's on your Twitter, if you got one, or if you got a buddy, send them the message. Hey, Jack's doing videos. I'm just going to be putting these out, help you guys out. Get my audience back. Obviously, that's my goal. Get those people who enjoy watching my content back. So the more you can share it, the more I am grateful. Thank you guys for watching. I will make sure that this video gets published here, and so you can watch it again in case you missed it halfway through. But everybody, take care. Have a great day. Trade safe. I will be out of town. I'm leaving tomorrow morning. I'll be back Wednesday, but maybe I'll try to get a Sunday night video in. Of course, going out of town and a lot of action. Take care, guys.